Hello! Happy Wednesday! Woo! Today, we're podcasting. Vanessa is on a little vacation, so I have my stepmom Bailey with us. Yay! She's going to give us kind of an overview of her story. It's a wild ride.
It's not that wild. I mean, I guess maybe it is.
It is pretty wild.
To me, it's not. It's just my life.
Yeah. Okay, so how far back do we want to start? You meeting her?
Well, I was born. No, I'm just kidding. I was born in Texas, raised in California.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Wisconsin.
Interesting. Your life is wild, because whenever you guys talk about, like, oh, we didn't do swim lessons, we just, like, swam in people's pools. Like, that's no.
Yeah, that's how we learned how to swim. Which is why my kids don't have swim lessons. Because I don't know what that is. That's weird. Why do you go to swim lessons? Even now, I'm like, that's...
Yeah.
And people tell me, like, my friend was telling me the other day, he's like, oh, yeah, this summer my kids have swim lessons. And I'm like, yeah, I really probably should do that. Like, that's probably something I should do, but I don't. I taught Chase how to float.
Yeah. So, but you have a pool in your backyard.
I do have a pool, yeah.
So, but most Wisconsin people, I mean, I think they are becoming more popular. Like, especially the kind that you guys have.
Above ground.
They're in Sam's, they're in Walmart, they're in, like, all the places, you know. So, I feel like they are becoming more popular. But, like, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's such high maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Should I tell a story about how I got this pool?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so Sean, my husband, or my late husband, went to Walmart or something, and he's like, we're going to get a pool, and bought a pool without telling me about it, as usual. And comes home, he's like, I bought a pool, we're going to have a pool. And I'm like, I grew up with my parents having an above-ground pool in California, which, mind you, was like 20 years ago. But still, I was like, oh, why would you do that? It's so much work and so much effort and all the chemicals and blah, 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 went on and on, right? We did not put the pool up because I think he got it on sale like at the end of the year.
He did, yeah.
And so then the next summer, I was pregnant with my second kid, right? And it was a really hot... this summer is not that hot compared to... Oh my gosh, that summer. It was like straight from June until like the end of September was just every day felt like 90 degrees and possibly because I was pregnant. But it felt like a really hot summer. And I swear I was like, he got the pool up, or we got the pool up, mostly him because I was pregnant. I mean, I had my daughter in August, so by June I'm like 7 months pregnant, you know, and I just remember just being like, thank God we have a pool that summer. It was so hot because we didn't have central air at the time either. So...
Oh, yeah, I remember when you did
we did not have central air.
I cannot wait to have central air. Seriously, because we don't either. Well, we have your guys' one black that, like, it's not an air conditioner, like, in the window, but it's like a unit that goes out the window. So we have one that we bought upstairs, and then the one that we got... Wait, no, the one from you guys is upstairs, and the one we bought is downstairs. Yeah. So we have those, and I'm like, I cannot wait until we, like, buy a house or move, and we're, like, in central air, and the whole house can be one temperature, because our living room is where it is. So then our living room is cool, but the kitchen, especially when we cook or anything, I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot in here.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Tangents, I'm good for that.
You I don't think I knew you were born in Texas.
Yeah, born in Texas.
And then
raised in California.
How old were you when you moved to California?
I was like almost 5.
Okay.
And, well, we moved in the summer, I think. I mean, I was very young, so I don't remember too good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just remember that, like, my cousins that lived in California on my dad's side, were always making fun of me because I had a Texas accent.
Oh.
When I moved to California, like, y'all, and, like, making such fun of me. Which is why, like, my accent isn't as bad as when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Like, probably, like, 5 years after I moved here, I had, like, a California, Texas, Wisconsin accent. It was just bizarre. And... So yeah, I was like 4 or 5. I definitely started kindergarten in California. And then my grandpa died, who lived in Wisconsin and was born and raised in Wisconsin. And we moved up here the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
And we moved up to a tiny town. We went from...
Small.
Yeah, it's Phillips. And so we went... I went from having 700 kids in my class. Like, we only had...
Yeah.
Like... Our junior high was 8th and 9th grade.
Okay.
And so it was just those. And so we each had like 700 to 800 people in each class. So it was a school of, between 14 and 1,600. And then to our high school was 400 total. I think our graduating class was like 80 something. Yeah. So, yeah. So it was a bit of and definitely different climate also. Yeah. So, but no, high school was awful. I mean, going to a small town. Yeah. Your sophomore year, nobody knows you, and you're from California. Well, it was a recipe for disaster. You at least had Sydney. Yes, my twin sister. Yes, that's true.
So that explains how y'all are just like this. I mean, that probably is a twin thing. Yes. But like moving to a new school and like
having no friends.
Yeah.
Nothing.
In high school.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.
It wasn't the best experience, but after that, then I went to college in Green Bay, UWGB, and met Sean. Yeah. At a bar called Diamonds and Spurs back in 2004.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
It's so long ago, right?
Yeah.
So I met him, and it was a whirlwind romance, I guess. Mm-hmm. You could call it that. So I met him, I think, so I want to say we must have gone out on a weeknight or something, because he like didn't call me for 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then he called me on that Saturday, and he was like, "Oh, happy Sweetest Day." He was a player, and I called him on it. Yeah. He absolutely was. And so, happy Sweetest Day. So I remember that. Like, so it was like a few days before Sweetest Day is when we met. And then in 2004, October 2004, and then January 16th of 2005, so like 3 months later, we got married in Vegas. We eloped, which is a family tradition.
Fun. Really?
My parents eloped in Mexico.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't it?
I kind of wish Josh and I would have. You know what I mean? Like, I love my wedding, and my dad was always like, "You loved it, right? You loved it, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I loved it." But I'm like, I don't know, like, we didn't hunt. Like, I mean, we went to a water park with the kids, kind of as like a honeymoon.
Sean and I never honeymooned
But
either.
yeah,
but I mean, we went to Vegas.
If we would have eloped, we would have had
like
that.
A wedding wrapped in one.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. I remember the one thing that I was thinking about just the other day. I was like, he was both times, because we got married in church in October. Yeah. Again, so we had 2 weddings, 2 anniversaries. It's great. Nowadays. But I remember when we got married in Vegas, he was like so serious, and he looked me like dead in the eyes. Yeah. When he just said his vows, and I was like,
really?
Yes.
Did you write your own vows?
No.
Okay.
Neither time we did. No.
Yeah, we didn't either.
No. That's too hard and stressful.
I was like, Josh is a better talker than I am. His will sound good, and mine will sound so basic off the internet. I'm like, we cannot.
That's so funny. So then we got married, and our first year of marriage, I always tell people when they're like, "Oh, it's rough," and I was like, our first year of marriage was rough. Yeah. We didn't even know each other. We knew each other for 3 months and got married. So I won't go into too many details. I plead the fifth on that.
Okay, so then you were together how many years before you had Chase?
12 years.
Okay.
12 years, and Sean always was like, "Oh, we pulled the goalie right away. We never used protection or anything." Yeah. And then all of a sudden, my dad passed away in August of 2016, and we were up there, and I was trying to drink my sorrows away. Yeah. And failing to get drunk. Okay. And this is a common thing that happens when I get pregnant, which is terrible, right? Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I was trying to drink and couldn't get pregnant. I kept having these pains, right? Yeah. And they were like different pains. Like, I was like, this is weird. And Sean was like, oh, I'm sure it's just stress. And I'm like, oh, you must be right. Like, this obviously is a hard time. My dad just passed away. Like, obviously I'm stressed, right? Well, it continued happening, these pains, right? And so I was at work one day, and I was driving home, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, it's been an awfully long time since I had my period. And so I was like, I'm just going to grab a pregnancy test. Yeah. Grab a pregnancy test, come home, close the bathroom door, which isn't nothing. Something we did not do in our house. Yeah. Unless we had roommates living with us. But if they were gone, the door was open. Yeah. Even now, I don't care. Like, half the people that come over, I'm like, I know. If you don't want to see me peeing, don't come by the bathroom.
Yesterday, Chase is over, and I was like, oh, I should probably shut the door.
So I went in the bathroom and closed the door, pee on the stick or whatever, and I bought, like, the cheapest one, because I'd bought many pregnancy tests in the past 12 years, right? Yeah. And so I'm waiting or whatever, and all of a sudden Sean comes out, he like knocks on. I was like, "Are you okay in there?" And the test had come back that I was pregnant, and I opened the door and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm pregnant! How could this happen?" And I swear, I felt like I was a teenager
Yeah.
that just got pregnant. Like, I was like, how did this happen? Yeah. And then I called Chase my little parasite. Yeah. He sucked the life out of me. Yeah. As children do. Some people like being pregnant. I am not. Yeah. Not one of those people. And so, yeah, so then he came into our world. Shockingly. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And my mom, of course, like, oh, it's going to be great. Which is, it's a blessing because I feel like that probably gave her a lot of strength after she had just lost her husband. Yeah. Now knowing how she probably felt like having a grandkid coming into this world had to have been really helpful for her.
Didn't say the part. Didn't you find out at your dad's funeral that you were pregnant? Wasn't there something about your dad's funeral? Or was it just that you drinking at your dad's funeral? Yeah, it was just I was pregnant. Okay. And I was emotional. I was a wreck. And normally I was always like the strong one in the family, like didn't cry, like held everything together. And my sister and my mom were the emotional ones. Yeah. And at the hospital when my dad was intubated and things, because he'd been in the hospital for many months and then things started looking worse and he had to be intubated. And they had him in the burn unit because that was like the only place they had for him because they were so, And anyway, so you had to like get all like geared up to go in there even though it wasn't that situation, but it was required because of where he was in the hospital. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, but it was also nice because they had like a small private room for burn unit families. Okay. Which was very good and no one was barely ever in there, so that was good for us. But no, and then so I saw him and I was like, not okay, and I didn't want to cry in front of him. That's a theme for me. And so then I like ran outside and just bawled my eyes out. And he wasn't even but I knew, like we knew things were not good. Like we had all, my mom was down there, my sister and I rushed down there because they were like, oh, we're not. Was it around Christmas time?
Nope, he died in August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have no good recollections of it.
I'm trying to think. It was 2016. Yeah. So it'll be 8 years. Yeah. Which is
I always think about, like, your mom. And then, like, when you bring up your dad, I was like, oh, yeah, like, he's also... he's actually also dead. I just remember, like, when my dad called me, like, called me about your mom, and I was just like...
Oh, yeah, that one was hard.
Yeah. But, okay. So
then I had Chase. Yes. Do you want me to tell my birth story?
You can.
Oh, or do you want me to do it later?
No, you can. Oh. It fits right along.
Okay, sure. So, I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted to try and do natural birth, and we went to the classes and everything. And so I was induced because I am diabetic even without being pregnant. And then when I am pregnant, I'm even more diabetic. Like I have to switch to insulin instead of just pills and stuff. So, and they worry when you have high blood sugars or, gestational diabetes when you're pregnant that your babies tend to grow bigger. Okay. And so that's why you have to do like way more like ultrasounds where they do measuring them and stuff. Yep. And so with him, they induced me 2 weeks early. Okay. So I was 38 weeks and it happened to be on April 14th, which is my dad's birthday. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know that, though, right?
No.
That Chase was born on my dad's birthday?
No. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Why was I thinking he was, like, you found out at your dad's funeral or something? But it must be that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay.
So, we went in bright and early at, like, 6 in the morning or something. Yeah. And I labored all day, and it was awful. And then it was, like...
And was your mom there, then? Mm-hmm. That's and
I wanted my mom and my sister to be there. Yeah. And then Diana ended up getting stuck in the room.
Really?
Yeah, which was fine because I was like, I don't know, yeah. There I am, But she got stuck in there and it was good because, I'm happy because she never because Kaden, her daughter, adopted. Yeah. So she never got to see, any of her grandkids.
I want to be in someone's birth so bad. Me too. So bad.
I've never seen anyone play board either.
And the only person I know that's going to have a baby next is, like, absolutely no one's in my room. If she even has a baby. And I'm like, come on, can I just go and, like, can any stranger, like, I will rub your back, I'll rub your feet, I'll do anything. Like, I want to be in a room so stinking bad.
I know, you have 3 girls, though, so maybe one of them will let you in.
Hopefully. I always talk about, like, I can't wait to be a grandma, and then people are like, well, what if they choose not to have kids? I'm like, I have 3 girls. Even if one of them has an accident, baby, okay? Like, I'm getting a grandchild.
Right. I'll convince Grace if she has any kids to, like, yeah.
For real. Grace, I'm holding out hope.
And me too. And your kids be like, I think Grandma Bailey would really love.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone was in your room. You labored all day.
Mm-hmm. And then they had given me, like, some injected medicine, but not an epidural.
Yeah.
And the nurse came over, and, like, Sydney was like, do you want me to rub my back? I was like, don't touch me, nobody touch me. I one of those, right? I'm in pain, don't touch me. But the medicine just made me super groggy. Hated every second of it.
Yeah.
And then the nurse came over, and she was like, did you want more medicine? I was like, absolutely, I would love more. I said it much fiercer than that. I was like, yes, give me more.
Yeah.
She's like, just so you know, you can't give birth for another 4 hours or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
And I was like, epidural, now.
Yeah.
And then after that, things went, like, labor progressed quickly. I was 5 centimeters, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. And then Chase was born at 10 something at night.
Okay.
So it progressed real fast after I got my epidural.
See,
and then
I only epiduraled with Kenzie, and that was the same thing. I was in labor for like 30 hours. Yeah. And then finally they gave me the epidural. I took a nap. I woke up. I pushed her out. It's like, dang, why did I wait
say
so
that.
long?
They say that because a lot of times what happens is your body gets so stressed out that it tenses up. Yeah. And, like, it just, labor just stalls, you know. Yeah. And so I was just happy that I was able to give birth vaginally. Yeah. Because the healing from a C-section is the worst. Yeah. Like, having a baby, regardless, whatever. Yeah. I'm just like, C-sections sound so painful. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you can't pick your baby up like you're supposed to and everything else. And I'm like, that just... Yeah. So I was just happy for a vaginal and healthy birth. But he was actually... We struggled at the end. I did not know this. But Sean and I think Sydney did. They were holding my legs. And he was kind of... Like, they would see his head and then he would bounce back in. And so... And I was, like, pushing... Like, my face. I looked in the mirror, like, 2 hours later after I was able to get up from the epidural, and I was like, who is this person? Really? Oh, my, yes. My face was still, like, bright red and just, like, run. I looked, like, ragged. I was like, oh, what is this? So, but yeah, so they had to suction him out, and he had a true knot around his neck with his cord, and so, but he was healthy, 7 pounds, which is what my mom predicted. Really? Yeah. She's like, yeah, just a 7-pound baby, a little big. Because Sean's babies are typically bigger.
Yeah. All my babies were 7-something.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Grace was 6-something. Of course, she's a tiny thing. Yeah. So we had Chase, and then very quickly, somehow, I always call it immaculate inception. Because I don't know how I got pregnant with Grace. I don't remember. It was such a blur.
My dad told me he took me and Josh to a restaurant. You might not know this. Okay. So he took me and Josh to a restaurant, and I think it was like right before you had Chase. Okay. Or like right after or something. I don't really know, but it was in New London. Okay. So we went to that like Chinese restaurant, and he was basically like...
Because I hate Chinese, so we always would go on to Chinese.
Basically like, I need to like tell you something, and I was like, what? And he's like, we're having another one. Like, we don't want like Chase. Like, he was like telling me, like, we don't want just to have like Chase in the house. Like, we want like another one. So like right away, we're gonna have another one. He like told me that, and I don't think you had even had Chase yet. Yeah. I think it was before he was born. And he was like, we're going to have another one. They're going to be super close in age, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, whatever. Like, you're already having Chase because, you know, me and my attitude back then. So I was super like, don't have kids. I already started having kids. Yes. And so...
And we weren't expecting to have kids. And I felt that. I was like, oh my gosh. But I was like, it's not like, because my sister... I have a sister that's 14 years older. Yeah. But my kids are... There's a bigger age gap between you and them. So... Yeah. Yeah. But I'm like, I have a half-sister that's 14 years older than me. Yeah.
So I very much so did not want my mom or my dad, because my mom was like getting remarried or about to be remarried or whatever, or not but like, because it was her first wedding. But I had told both of them, like, you're not starting over. I'm starting to have kids. You're not allowed to have kids. Like, I was like very much like, it's my time to have kids. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before Chase was born, but I don't remember like exactly when. And yeah, he took me, and then he was like, just so you know, like, we're having another one and whatever.
Or how presumptuous of him to think that. And
he did. And he's like, he said, as soon as Bailey's cleared, we're gonna start trying. That's what he like. Yeah,
he was clearly trying and waking up. I don't remember.
He was like, as soon as Bailey's cleared, we're gonna start trying right away.
So crazy.
Yeah, and
so he was actively trying, and I was just in a state of constant sleep.
Because Josh was like, what? Like, I think Josh was like cool, calm about it. He's like, Tanisha, you know, like it does make sense for them to have like, you know. And I was just like, whatever. I can't stop them.
Because the conversations him and I had were like, I was like, I don't want Chase to be an only child. I'm like, but we've always left it up to God.
Yeah.
And so we're like, you know, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant. If I don't, I don't. We're not trying. We're going to continue to not try. Yeah. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting it to happen.
No, he was quickly. Like, the second she gets cleared from the doctor, we're starting to try.
Probably after. This is probably after Chase was born. That's happening for a while. Like, we're going to try immediately.
So, yeah, that was, like, the conversation, and I was just like, whatever, and Josh was like, whatever. And to be, like, I mean, I was mad for, like, a long time. And now I'm like...
And I felt bad, because I was like, first of all, Chase was unexpected.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be motherless my entire, or childless my entire... I was like, that's why I probably reacted the way I did, because I was like, I have my life planned out here. Children are not part of this equation.
So, yeah, I was just like, whatever, and Josh was like, cool, calm, collect about it, and I was like, so... But I don't remember, because I had my miscarriage in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But you were pregnant with Elena.
I was pregnant with
Elena.
Yeah. Because they're like 3 weeks apart.
Yes.
So.
Elena is older.
Yep.
Of course. But I have my niece has an uncle that she's older than on my...
I had people in school that they would like say like their aunt, their uncle, and we would like not believe them. Yeah. But I don't know, I was very mad about it for a little while, and now I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. And they love each other, literally so much. They're like besties. Yeah. So how can I be mad about that?
Right.
And that's like true. My brother's not going to have kids, I don't think.
Oh, really? He doesn't want kids?
Probably, no, he doesn't want kids. And even so, like, we're not, like, that close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and
maybe
if he did have a kid right now, like, there would be a big age gap anyways. Whereas our kids are closer in age.
And I love, like, now I love it.
Yeah.
And I'll, like, say to be, and I forget that, like, people don't know. So I'm like, oh, yeah, like, my dad's kids.
Yeah.
Like, because I just say my dad's kids. And then who was I talking to? I was like, oh, my dad's kids. And then I said something, and I was like, yeah, they're, like, 7 and 6. And they're like, wait, your dad's And I was like, yeah. Because for such a long time, I was so, like, angry about it. And now I'm just like, yeah, like, you know, it is what it is. And, like, I'm not, like, angry about it anymore, so I don't like...
I understood why you were, though. I truly did.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. And I didn't plan this, so I was like, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah. It's good. No, our kids get along.
Yeah. They're like peas in a pod, man.
Yeah. I know, Grace was so upset.
Well, I think my biggest thing is, like, I didn't want, like, a comparison, especially with with Chase and Elena being so close in age. Yeah. I didn't want, like, a comparison, and I wanted, like, Auntie Dawn to, like, do stuff for my kids, like, because she always took us to, like, Bay Beach and stuff. So I'm like, I don't want my kids to, like, get pushed aside So I had, like, a multitude of, like,
reasons.
Fears.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Totally understandable, I think.
So.
I get it.
Now I'm, like, cool. But I'm, like, for so long I was, like, so mad, and I don't know when the transition happened, but it, like, just happened.
Yeah.
I'm, like, cool with it now. But okay, so you had Chase.
Yep.
That was great.
Yep. He was an easy baby. Easy baby. Both of them were. And everyone was like, oh, your second one's going to be awful. Yeah. And so I prepared myself mentally for having having an awful child. And yeah, Grace's birth went fantastic. I'm like summarizing a lot, but not really. Yeah. I mean, so with Grace, I had my same doctor who I loved, and she of course was scheduled. She was only 1 week early instead of 2 weeks, though, which made me mad. I was like, another week being pregnant. This is terrible.
Was she?
I can't imagine going 40. Oh.
Well, and I went over with Brooklyn. I think, Elena was early, and I was over with Brooklyn. I don't remember with Kenzie. I was in such a, like, bad mental, like, place with Kenzie. It's, like, hard.
Because did you have your miscarriage?
Between Brooklyn and Elena. Yeah.
Okay. Right, because you told us.
At the 4th of July. that I miscarried, I'm pretty
when
sure.
neither of us were pregnant.
Yes. And then we both ended up being pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? I don't know. Something about Grace. But okay, Grace's birth.
Yes, so easy. So we were induced again, went in early. I was like, I'm going to try and get to 5 centimeters, and then I'm going to get the epidural, like, going with the plan this time, you know? And so I, like, bounced on the balls. You know, I didn't take the drug because that did not help things at all. Yeah. It made me so groggy. I, like, have very little recollection of that whole day except for birthing Chase. Yeah. I was just, it was like I was high. I had some type of medicine with Brooklyn, too, and I remember talking about being in a cemetery pushing a purple shopping cart. Oh, I believe it. That stuff made... I don't know what it was. It was crazy. I did not enjoy it. And so I was, like, not doing that. And so I was bouncing on the balls. And then the doctor, you know, they'd come and check. And I remember Sean being like, the doctor had come in at one point. And he was like, we're going to try and have you out of here for dinner. And we called for dinner. And we did. She was born at 4-something in the afternoon. Yeah, it went. It was a very short day compared to Chase's. Yeah. And hers went smooth as could be. Mm-hmm. Was your mom there? And your sister? Yep, my mom, my sister, and Diana. I invited her that time. My mother-in-law. Yeah. I invited her that time. So, yeah. It was, I mean... Was Chase there then? So, Dawn. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have the cutest picture. She got balloons and flowers, and he's coming with, like, a big yellow shirt that says Big Brother on it. Oh my gosh. So cute. And he was only, 16 months apart. Yeah. So, he was, like, not even 1.5. Mm-hmm. And he's... coming, you know, and Sean went out to get him and stuff. And Dawn has pictures of Sean and him walking down with the balloons and everything. It was so cool. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, so then I had Grace in 2018. Mm-hmm. Dad died 2016. Chase was born 2017. Grace was born 2018. Yeah. And then your mom moved down here. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember. She was down here before COVID. Yeah, because I lived here and was pregnant with Kenzie, and that was all before COVID. Yeah, and my wedding. Oh yeah, I lived here. Yeah, I lived here when I had my wedding, right? Did you? Yeah, I think so. Because we would sit and talk about it. Oh, maybe. Or would I just come over? I don't remember when I lived either. So, yeah, and she moved, because she was watching, she would watch my kids here, and I always said she was the best nanny ever. She'd do my laundry and fold it. Yeah. And she'd clean my house. And that's what frustrated me about her. She was such a clean, I was like, why do you care about cleaning so much? She told me, she told me once, she's like, you know, I ride you hard and, like, make sure you clean everything. Like, I would clean my house before she would come over. Yeah. And then she would come. I would pick up my house. No, she would literally wash the rugs. Like, she's doing the most. Oh, it's Monday. It's floor day. Time to wash the floor. Like, she had a schedule for cleaning my house. And I was like, I'm glad you do. Because I'm really hanging on here. Yeah. And so, yeah. But she told me once, she was like, you know, my mom used to come over and get on me about my house being messy when I had you. Because she had twins. Yeah. So, I prayed. Every day before my ultrasound. First ultrasound, please do not want to be twins. I can't do it. So, your mom only had you two, right? Yes. Because you have a half sibling that was your dad's, right? I have a half sister and a half brother. Oh, okay. Yeah, and they're full siblings. Okay. Yeah, from my dad's ex-wife. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I was like, oh, these things happen. Like, it's you know? It is. Because my family was already kind of like that, you know? Yeah. So my mom was amazing, and then she got her own house, and so she wasn't coming over here to watch my kids anymore. Yeah. Which was very sad. No, she went there, and then she would watch my kids. Uh-huh. And she had all 5 on the weekends. So that Josh and I could work weekends together, and Josh could have a second job. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that. That's right, she did. She watched my kids on the weekends for that. Yeah. Yep. She was amazing. Anyways. All 5 kids, and they were young. Yeah. Like, Kenzie still in, like, a baby seat? Yeah. Like, she potty trained both my kids. Yeah. I'm like, people talk about potty training, I was like, I mean, my mom, she did reading on it, she's like, once you take him out of the diaper, you can't put him back in. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. Hey, Mom, like, she told me. Yeah. You know, and we struggled with Chase, and my mom was like, you know, even when I had Chase, or, like, found out that I was having a boy, she was like, well, I don't know a lot about how to raise a fund, but we'll figure it out. It's like, same.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so then one day we went to drop my kids off at my mom's house, and her back door was open. The kids ran in, Sean ran in, and we found her, and she had passed away unexpectedly, very unexpectedly, and that was bad. I always said after my mom passed away, I'm like, I'm not sure which is worse, having someone be in the hospital for a long time and then pass away, or having someone die suddenly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not sure which is easier and which is not. And since Sean's passing, I think quicker is better.
Yeah.
And sudden.
Yeah.
So, anyways, right? What do they call it? Spoiler?
Yeah. I guess.
So yeah, my mom passed away in 2021. And then we were living our lives. Everything was good. And then I don't think I want to go into details about how Sean died just because I can't. I have some trauma from it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to just be like a total, like I'll cry. I don't mind crying. I'm real. I try to be real, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyways, so Sean was in the hospital for 10 days. He went in on November 20th. And then he passed away on the 30th on my birthday. So that's fun.
Yeah, because I was trying to think. So we didn't go to the, like, what is that called? The Christmas parade. And I was like, was that the day he passed? Like, I don't remember exactly which day.
What, is it normally before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so he was just in the hospital.
Yeah, because he went in the Monday of Thanksgiving week.
And it was Tuesday.
Okay.
That was the parade.
And you guys, did you come down?
But I don't remember.
On Wednesday, didn't you?
I don't remember which days we went.
I know Dawn came down on Tuesday for sure, straight from work.
Because
and I think you and Josh came down on Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
That sounds about right.
But I don't have a lot of...
Yeah.
It's very fuzzy.
Because Brooklyn had we had a meeting with Brooklyn's teacher, and then we had the Christmas parade, and it's literally all a blur.
It is.
Like, I don't remember.
I don't either.
So we didn't go to the Christmas parade, but we did go one of the days to see my dad, and then I went a different time. Because I don't even remember. Did Josh and I go during the day when they were in school, maybe?
It was definitely daytime. And I think...
So it probably was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during the day for sure. So, but yeah, it was... I don't know. I talked to my therapist about this. I'm like, I have flashbacks to it, and it's just... Yeah. It's rough. Speaking of therapy. Just kidding. Terrible. But yeah, so that's been...
6 months. Well, longer.
So he died on the last day of the month, so I'm always like, okay. So, like, January was 1 month. So we're in July. So it's been 7 months.
7
almost days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I came over here today and I didn't cry.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm like, I say it because they live here, like, it's kind of now normal. And I'm like, when I show up here, my dad's not here. I'm like, where's he at? Is he at the gas station? Like, when's he coming back?
Because he was out about a while. He was. I was talking to my therapist about this. I was like, I used to never leave. Like, Sean would go get food. Sean would go get groceries. Sean would get whatever I needed, you know? And so, like, on the weekends, I would just be like, and he would always go do it. He'd be like, can you please go this time? And I'd be like, oh, this is I would joke, like, this is such an inconvenience. Why do I have to do everything? And now it's like, I literally have to do everything. And I'm like, this is dumb. But I do enjoy it. I do get out more, and I think it's healthy for me not to be in the house too much. But sometimes I like to nap a lot lately.
I feel like you always love to nap.
I did always love to nap.
But I was low iron.
No, I have low vitamin D.
Okay. Low iron is like a napping thing.
I should check because my mom had low iron.
Really?
Yeah. I have an appointment on Monday at the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my blood pressure. Just not been under control since Sean passed away, so there's that. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean.
So you kept up Christmas, pulled Christmas off.
Somehow.
Magically. Mm-hmm. Well, and technically we did Thanksgiving.
I hid in the basement half the time.
He was in the hospital for Thanksgiving.
He was in the hospital for Thanksgiving, right. And we didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew things weren't looking great, but there was still hope at that point that he would make it out. So.
Christmas was rough.
Mm-hmm. Christmas was rough.
You pulled off the 4th of July.
The 4th of July was, I was wasted drunk the whole time.
But it was good. You pulled it off.
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow. Well, with help from everybody. Like you, Josh, Jason.
Yeah.
Sydney's friend Amanda that went to our grocery shopping for us. I was like, here's my card. Go get this, like, very long
Did you
list
feel?
of
I
things.
feel like that's, like, such a my dad thing, though. He would always, like, okay, so here's the thing, like, we would come over, and he would be like, I buy, you fly. Yes! And, like, and then it would literally be like, this is what I want from McDonald's, this is what I want from Starbucks. And I remember the one time Josh was like, no, we're not going to go to Starbucks this time. We're going to go to, like, this other coffee place. And my dad's like, well, whatever, I guess. Like, just give me this. But, yeah.
That's hilarious. He would always say that, I buy, you fly.
I buy, you fly, yeah.
Because he always flew, I never did. It's like, nah.
Yeah. Even, like, Walgreens, he would be like, I need this from Walgreens. Like, razors or, like, something random.
Like, the only thing I ever actually need from Walgreens is my prescriptions and my dark chocolate Doves.
Yeah.
But they're cheaper at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, like $3 cheaper.
Yes. Dang, that's a big difference.
I know. So I stocked up when I went to Walmart.
Oh, wait, your win of the week.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I was telling her. I was like, oh, I have to think of a win of the week. I was like, oh, I got my school supply shopping done for the kids. But I did leave Grace unattended in my bedroom with them, and so I am concerned.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I normally hide them away because they... Chase... If it's a marker, Chase will leave the cap off in no time, and they'll be gone. But Grace will actually use all of her stuff.
Yeah.
For not...
I feel that. With the girls.
Do your kids do that?
Yes. Literally, like, all notebooks. Josh, the other day, we're looking for black pens. He's like, where's all of our black pens? I'm like, literally, I just bought pens. Like, and they're gone. They're just gone. Who knows?
Like scissors. We could find 0 scissors in our house, right? Mm-hmm. Then we did, like, a massive cleanup and organization, and we have, like, 7 pairs. Yeah. And they're now all hiding.
Yeah.
Because, like, my children will find them.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do this. Like, I don't even know what they need to cut a piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
And then there it lays, and then it gets buried under whatever stuff they have in their room. And I'm just like, no, nope.
Yeah.
Here is a scissor. You may use it, and then you must bring it to me.
Well, you got your whole...
Put, like, air tags on him.
Wait, there's a thing where you can put a sticker. What are they called? The company that makes the tiles for your keys? They make remote stickers. So you can put, it's like a little teeny dot, like teeny tiny dot sticker, because they're made for remotes. And then you can name them on your phone. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, so what was your win of the week?
My win of the week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I started working somewhere. That's like my win. I got a job, you guys. Didn't even know that I quit my job, but I quit my job and I got a new job. So, yeah.
That's a win.
Basically, my husband said to me, like, you need to quit this job. And then I quit it, and I was like, well, that was probably a dumb idea. But now I got a job. So it was nice to be home with the kids. Yeah. Like, go to beaches, go to parks, do that kind of stuff. But also, like, this has literally been my entire life. Because when Brooklyn was young, I worked a job where I did, I did 7 on, 7 off, 12-hour shifts. So it was 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But then,
7 days in a row?
Yeah. And then on my 7 days off, I worked a cleaning job and Victoria's Secret.
Oh my gosh.
And then, like, that's when I had my miscarriage. Because it was in a group home setting and there was a incident and, like, I can't really, say. And then that's when I had my miscarriage. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I quit that job.
Yeah.
what was I doing after that? I don't know. But, like, I always had multiple jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so this is what I would do is I would work multiple jobs and I would make money and then I would feel guilty for not being with my kids enough and I would cut back and then I would blow through all the money I saved up working all those jobs and I would get a bunch of jobs again. And, like, that was kind of always my thing. So when I was talking to one of my friends about this job, I'm like, you know, it's, like, part-time. But the girls' school is hiring, like, a lunch aide, so maybe I would do that one day a week. And then they're like, there you go, Tanisha, you're at 2 jobs, only need 2 more. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't, like, it's just hard because for a while I wanted to get, like, a job where Josh works because I was like, I just want to make a bunch of money and really load up my 401k. And I was like, if I put 50% of my paychecks into my 401k for, like, 12 years, I could retire. And, like, if Josh wants to stay working, whatever. But, because you can do, like, a Roth conversion where you convert it and then you just have to wait 5 years. And you don't, like, I don't know, something about taxes.
Yeah.
So you can, like, convert however much you're going to need. And then every 5 years you have that. And you just do that conversion. And keep, it's called, like, a Roth conversion ladder or something like that. And so, basically what you do is you save up cash for your first 5 years. And then you do that conversion until you reach retirement age. Oh. So I know how to retire early. It's just actually, like, doing it because I'm on all the podcasts, all the Facebook pages, all that stuff. So part of me is like, I just need to work really hard for the next 12 years and then whatever. And then, but, like, my kids are only this age for this time. And
like, and they'll be teenagers and they won't even want to be around you.
Yeah.
And then you can work.
So I always...
Because you're young.
I always struggle...
Not like me. By the time my kids are teenagers, I'm going to be like 100.
But I really... It's, like, my biggest struggle, you know, like, Brooklyn's 10, and I want to go to all the dance stuff, and I want to go to all the things, but it's, like, at the same time, I want to have this... Buy a house, and, like, all these different things, so it's, like, really a mental struggle. So I feel like...
I agree 100%, because, like, we've had a really slow summer at work, and so... and before, like, when we had the dine-in and stuff open in the restaurant, like, it was, like, one of us had to be there all the time.
Yeah.
And now with the drive-thru, it's, like, we don't need somebody, like, we have competent people that have been working with us for us forever that they can, many years. Well, some of them are competent, some of them don't, we're going to have to close, but anyways, so for the most part, we do, and so I'm like, I don't need to be there every day when we're open. Like, I can be there, like, when my kids are at school, I go in the morning, and I can get so much more work done, uninterrupted. And then I can be gone by 4 or 5 o'clock, and that way my kids, I'm not getting home at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock like I used to. Yeah. And my kids, oh, sorry, I'm out of screen.
No, you're all good.
And so I get to actually spend more time with my kids, or at least make sure they're going to bed at a reasonable time and brushing their teeth and doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. Whereas before it was like, oh, pick them up and hopefully they're sleeping. Yeah. Which was not good for anybody. So. Yeah. But it's the same. And so, like, this summer, I've just been, like, the last, like, 2 weeks, I'm like, what do you want to do, kids? Like, I literally went to work for, like, 3 hours today. I was like,
that's the thing is I
don't need to be here.
And, like, I find free stuff to do. Yeah. Like, you know, Sunday was free day at the pool. And, like, the community that we live in has such amazing free opportunities. Like, today we went to the Building for Kids for free, and, like, YMCA is all week for free, and, like, all this stuff. Yeah. So there's all this stuff. So it's, like, really, I can bring them to libraries, and I can bring them to parks, and I can do all the I mean, we have how many splash pads that are free in the area? Like, literally, I think 4 that are different cities.
You travel. I'm like, I don't know.
So I like
Nina.
Right. Yeah, there's Nina, Sherwood, Kaukauna, and then there's the one in Stevens Point, but that's like further.
Yeah, that's a ways.
But, like, I don't know, I just love it. So part of me is like, come on, Josh, just make enough money for me to not have to work, or, like, come on podcast, come on TikTok, come on something. But the other part of me is like, no, Tanisha, we need to really, like, buckle down and work, like, 12 years of hard work and then retire and, like, have it there so we don't really have to worry. And then it's hard because the other part of me is like, so this week, Saturday. So yeah, if you're listening to this episode, this week, Saturday, is the tickets for the what's that called? That train in Green Bay, you know? They do the bunny train. They do the Polar Express. Yeah. They do the Polar Express, the haunted house, like all this different stuff. So the Polar Express tickets go on sale on Saturday. But they sell out in 3 hours. And
how much are they?
It's only $25 a ticket.
Oh, okay.
So have you seen the Polar Express? Like with the little bell ringing. The book. Okay, so you go
There's
there,
a book, right? Like
I'm pretty sure,
like a kid's book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you go there. These like dancers bring you out your hot cocoa, and then you go on the train. They ring the bell. Santa comes around. Like you get like whatever. So I've heard really great things. Vanessa goes. Like I have other friends. We've never been. So it's hard because like. It's summer, but we're also, like, already signing up for fall dance and already needing, like, to sign up for anything we're going to do in the winter right now.
Yeah.
And it's, like, I could just not do it, but it's something I want to do. And then I, like, fight mentally with that, too. You know?
Or is it, like, multiple days that you can go to the Polar Express, or is there a specific day?
When you buy your slot, you buy your slot.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I don't like that kind of commitment. That's too much for me.
Josh will have off Black Friday. So that's when I want to do Black Friday. Because it's only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Josh works Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But he has off Black Friday. Okay. So I'm like, we can get the tickets for Black Friday. Josh doesn't need to use vacation. I'm like, to me it feels perfect. But now I have to tell Josh, babe, something I want to do in literally November. Can I buy the tickets this weekend? And that's where it's hard because it's like, I know how to retire early. I know, but it's like actually doing it, you know?
Yeah, but that sounds like a real magical experience, though.
Everyone that I've heard that does it says it's amazing. So I'm like, and you know, Brooklyn's getting older, so I'm like, I feel like it's kind of now or never, too. So I want to do it. I think I'm going to do it. But that's my whole parenthood life. So basically, since I've been 18, I go back and forth between either working multiple part-time jobs or a full-time job, and then working a lot less. I mean, I hadn't gone to work since literally Memorial Day. I hadn't.
Oh, really?
Worked. Yeah.
How lovely.
I know.
That's so nice.
It's not like we really make stay-at-home mom money. Like, Josh doesn't make stay-at-home mom money. So,
and I don't either.
Yeah. We were, like, doing odd jobs and, like, donating plasma and stuff, you know. So, it's good to, like, be back at work. But at the same time, I'm like, I just love not, like, Kenzie, my first 3 shifts, held onto my leg and, like, cried for me not to go. And then I said to Elena, I was like, you guys are fine, like, play a game with Daddy. And they're like, oh, we want to play a game with you. And I'm like, don't make me feel bad about this.
I already feel bad.
Yeah.
Kids, they're good at that. They're so good at making you feel bad about things.
For sure.
So, oh my God. Yeah, no. I have always worked so hard.
Yeah.
Too. Like, literally have not had a job since college.
Yeah. And you guys put in like 1 million hours.
Yeah. And in fall is our busy season. And so I'm like, I'll probably be sleeping there again. Yeah. You know, so I don't feel bad about taking time off.
Yeah.
You know, right now I'm like, so it is what it is. It's the ebb and flow of it. And I was like, you know what, this summer, ever since, you know, my husband passed away, it's been a lot of like, this work's that important. Like, well, groceries are.
Yeah.
So I guess in a sense it is.
Right. Yeah.
And it's different, you know, being a business owner is a little different too because then you stress about other things. But it's.
Oh, yeah. We didn't touch. You own a business.
I do own a business in 2019. Oh, so that's what happened in 2019. I bought a business. Yes, me, Sean, and my sister, Sydney. So, yeah. So, and that's been a struggle because Sean was the chef there. And when he passed away, you know, thankfully, was very good at delegating.
Yeah.
He liked to do as little as possible. Yeah. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, when push came to shove, like, he worked his butt off, you know? Like, there was a time where we didn't have a cook, and so it was literally him and I cooking in the restaurant behind the line, you know, and we busted our butts every single night. And so, but then, like, once we got people on, he was like, okay, this is how you do this, so that he could literally phase himself out. Which felt like what he did, and I, honestly, like, in hindsight, I'm like, I need to do this.
Well, he kept telling Josh and I that that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to be getting more time off, you know, and he's like, Bailey and I are going to be able to, like, take more time. And, like, because that was kind of a big thing is, like, your guys' days off were kind of like limited.
So limited. And it's like, it was just, it was a struggle.
That was like a big thing about like him and Josh were supposed to start doing tournaments this summer.
Well, yeah.
And like that and that.
I mean, and the thing, like when the kids were young, it didn't matter like what time we worked, because if we worked till 11 o'clock at night and didn't get home till midnight, cool, we all slept in until 10, whatever. You know what I mean? Like the kids could be up late, but then once school started and they were both in early school, it was a struggle for us. And when he passed away, I was like, I have to adjust my schedule. I have to be home with my kids more. Yeah. Like I have to have a better work-life balance, and it is my priority now. And I'm like, I won't apologize for it. And
and he was like feeling that way too, you know, like that was like his big thing to like Josh and I, because Josh was like, sure, you're gonna fish with me more, and he's like, no, like he's like, I'm really like, I'm training these people, we're able to trust these people, like that was like a big thing. So I'm just so happy that we can still like get the kids together.
I know, me too.
Because
I love it. Because I mean, I feel like they've been together more this summer than ever, haven't they? Probably.
Except for the summer I had them, Oh,
well, yeah.
Because when your mom passed, I had them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes, my child care situation. Which has been nice spending time. And, like, because Chase struggles. Well, I have both my kids in counseling, obviously grief counseling. Yeah. Since their dad passed away. And but Chase, even before that, was struggling with anxiety, like especially social anxiety, and it was undiagnosed. It is not undiagnosed anymore. But like even like, so you and John came over, and he had that outburst thing or whatever. Yeah. But since then, he really hasn't. Yeah. And that's like almost 2 weeks, and I'm like, who is this kid? I'm like, oh.
Even the 4th of July, because you remember the previous year, he was like, I don't want people at my house.
He tried to lock everybody out, including us, out of our house. We have 3 routes of entrance, and I beat him to the last one. Yeah. Ran around the house, because he was literally locking everybody out.
Oh, you do have 3 ways.
Yeah. And he locked the back door. Yeah. And then I went to the driveway, and he had just gotten there, and he laughed at me. Yeah. And then I booked it to the front door. Yeah. And I got there just as he did, and I was able to get it. I was like, you cannot lock us out of the house.
He was so good.
I know. That's what I said. I'm like, he's a totally different human. Yeah. So, I think spending more time with him, and therapy, of course, is, I think, helpful, as much as he doesn't really want to do it most days.
Well, you know how we always talk about me going to counseling on this podcast? I think it was a really big eye-opener to me when we were at volleyball and you told me that my dad went to counseling.
That's right.
Yeah. So then I kind of was like, all right, like, I think I'm going to actually do it. So I'm going to actually do it. And I'm not just saying
accountable to it. Don't worry.
I'm not just saying it to say it, but like when you said that, because I was like, wow, my dad could be this person for all these people. Mm-hmm.
And he was.
And like you said, because he went to counseling. And I was like, I thought he was just special. Like, I don't know. So my dad.
I mean, he is special. I think he was super special.
But like, I just thought there was something like, because, okay, one time he told me, he's like, you just need to find forgiveness, right?
He was very big on forgiveness.
I literally went home and I was Googling how to forgive someone. How do you forgive and then I went to Pinterest, and then I went to YouTube, and then I'm on TikTok, and I'm trying to figure out what he meant, like, by forgiveness, because I was like, I don't know how to forgive. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm kind of like, why didn't I just call him and be like, teach me like how to forgive? But when you said he went to counseling, I was like, all right, if I want to be this like great person for my kids and for the community and for others
and for yourself,
I'm actually going to go to counseling.
And for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and this is my first time, besides like one time when I was like, went to work counseling for one session. Yeah. And I've always been like, it's been hard for me. I have never had mental health issues until Sean passed away. I've never, I mean, when my mom died, I remember Sean, like,
I think
I use the D word if that offends anybody. I have young children, and that's how you are supposed to talk to children about death. Yeah. Is by using the D word, and so I'm very desensitized to it. So I do apologize if other people are not desensitized to it, but that's literally when you have young children and you're dealing with death, whether it's grandparents, because my kid's grandma died, and then now their father died. Like, you have to use that word so that they can understand what you mean. passed away or went to heaven. It's confusing to young children. So anyways, where was I? When my mom died, passed away. It was like probably a few months, maybe 6 months to a year later. And I was just, I thought I was fine.
No, my dad, I think, was really worried about you.
Yeah. And so I thought I was fine. I wasn't like, I wouldn't, compared to now to then, I definitely wasn't depressed, but I definitely wasn't myself either. I was like, when someone that you love passes away, your entire world changes and you become a different person as well.
Yeah.
Because you can never go back to that person that you were before, ever. Because that person had a living parent. They had a living husband. They had...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
And so, like, you become a new person. And I think, like, in my process of becoming this new person after my mom had passed away, it wasn't a very happy person. It was less me, like less what he knew me as and stuff. And it was because I was keeping everything bottled up inside. I didn't talk about it because I never do like to talk about... I don't mind talking about death and stuff to people, but I don't like talking about my feelings necessarily with people in the sense that I don't like making other people sad.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest goal is to make sure that people aren't... I don't want to unload on you and then now you're sad or feeling bad for me and stuff, And so Sean was like, either you need to start talking to me. Yeah. I am your person. Talk to me about this. Or you need to go talk to a therapist. And I was like, it was like a wake up for me. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I can talk to you about this. Yeah. Which, well, it's weird because he was my best friend. We talked about everything together. Like, I think that it was just more of like, I thought he couldn't relate to me because he never lost a parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
Josh has said that to me. He's like, I'm sorry. He'll say, your dad was like a dad to me.
Right.
But...
And that's what Sean said about my mom. Your mom was like a mom to me. Like, I love your parents, but it's...
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah.
Get it. It's weird.
It's kind of bad because I've, like, said to Josh, I'm like, just wait until your dad dies. Like, that's mean. But it's like, because,
Because until it happens, you really don't.
Yeah.
You really don't get it. And especially, like, cause has he lost anybody super close to him?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and there's
my dad, he took, like, that's when his family was reaching out to me. I was like, y'all need to reach out to Josh. Yeah. I'm like, Josh is taking, because people would reach out to me, and I'm like, you guys don't understand, like, how hard Josh is taking. Yes. And now... it's been enough time. Josh isn't, like, taking it as hard, But even, like, I put his backpack down today, actually. And he's like, the lures I have from your dad are in there. Don't do... like, you need to be more careful when you put that backpack down. And I was like, dang, okay. Like, so he took... I mean, he did take it really hard. My dad and Josh were literally, like, twins, but not twins. Like...
well, we were talking about this, about how you marry your dad. And I'm like, I told Tanisha, I'm like, I also married my dad. Because my dad was very similar to Sean. I mean, he didn't fish and stuff like that, but they had a similar upraising and attitudes and drug usage.
Yup.
Back in the day, my dad. And so, like, I was like, kind of, I mean, so it worked out for me.
Yeah. It's working out for me. But, no, I laughed before because didn't one of your kids... seriously, I need to figure out this cough. Didn't one of your kids say to you, Mommy, stop talking to, like, whoever because you're making them cry? Didn't someone say that?
Oh, my gosh. Chase, so when I had to tell them that their dad died, and, which was, like, the most difficult conversation of my life. And so then I said that I had to call you. I think I was like, I have to call Tanisha about something. And he was like, you need to stop telling everybody Daddy's dead. You're just going around making everybody sad. Making the whole world sad. And I was like, he's not wrong. Like, every time I tell people, like, I feel like I do make people sad, But I'm like, am I just supposed to pretend that he's still alive? Yeah. So, he's He's my sensitive one. That one is.
But like you said, it is different because like you are a totally different person. Like I feel like if I enjoy things, my face doesn't reflect me enjoying it the way it had years past. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's kind of. But
even when you do enjoy things, there's always like a bittersweetness to it, mm-hmm. especially like family stuff that like your dad would be there for it and stuff. You know, like that's the time where you're like, and especially like as time goes on, my understanding of this is because I listen to podcasts and have read books and things like that. Like as time goes on, like you know, you'll be having more joyful and it will be fun, but there's always going to be that little bit of that. Yeah. Bittersweet, like, oh, there's somebody missing from this memory, you know, or from this time.
Well, that's like I dump coffee like on my dad, you know, and like I like when I go there, like for my dad to like drink some coffee. Yeah, and Josh was like, "You're so freaking weird," because I wanted to bring him like a whole Starbucks on like so that he could have his own. Like, and Josh was like, "No, you can just share yours." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's Father's Day. Like I want to bring him his own coffee."
Did you go there on Father's Day?
Yeah. So I
just pretended it didn't exist.
No, I went. Well,
and you brought him coffee like you always did.
I had soda. Oh. No, I got soda. I didn't get Starbucks on Father's Day. And Starbucks was doing buy one, get one free, and this was the first year I haven't had Starbucks on Father's Day.
Why?
I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I did give him, I had Dr. Pepper. But it wasn't diet. So I was like, whatever. Because, no, then I was talking to him. So I was, like, talking to him, you know, about, this is, like, way off from what I was saying, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, did you ever go to the doctor for your toe? Like, what was the diagnosis on your toe? And I was like talking to him about his toe.
Sean?
Yeah. Okay. And then I was like, well, I guess it doesn't matter because like you're dead, but like, was it cancer or was it?
He never went to the doctor on it. No.
But because I was trying to figure out which side his head is on. Like, did they do it right from the way that the guys carried him in to carrying him out?
I have no idea.
I think his head is on the wrong side.
Like where?
Like, I think his head is over here.
I'm trying to face you.
Like, if you get out of the car,
okay.
I think his head is on that side. Oh. Because the way the guys wheeled him out this way.
Yeah.
Which his head was on this side. They wheeled him out this way and wheeled him in. And then when they wheeled him out, they went this way to put him in. I think his head is over here. Because I was like...
Does it matter?
Well, I was sitting by, like, his feet.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, wait, I think I'm on your head. And then I was like... You know, because I go off by, like, the wind for if he's saying yes.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Oh, that's
so, fun. I was like, I think I'm actually sitting on your head, and now I feel really bad.
That's okay. You usually sit on his grave or just next to it?
I sit like on it. Oh. Yeah. Like I put my butt kind of on the edge, but then my feet go kind of yeah.
So he can put like my drink and you're sitting on his head.
Well, yeah. Now I thought about it, and I was like trying to bring it up to Josh, and Josh was like, "No, I think his head's there," and I was like, "No, like I'm gonna go in the video, like, but I don't have a video of them taking him
into the car.
Yeah, I only have the video of him getting brought."
Video of it.
Well, because I don't know, I like wanted them. But then I was like, is it weird? Is it whatever? You know?
No. It's not.
Like, I can do what I want.
You absolutely can. Well, it's so funny because both my parents were cremated, right? And so, Sean didn't want them.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so annoying and way more expensive than it has to be. But anyways, so, but I was always like, oh, it's so weird when people touch the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I touched him.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, yeah. His hand.
Okay. His hand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, his arm, like, had some, like, plastic or something. I don't know how they do this stuff, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but yeah, no, I touched him.
It was so hard. Like, it almost felt hard. Like, going to the hospital was so hard. But, like, being in that funeral home was, like, or church.
At the church.
It was so, like, oh my gosh. And then, yeah, I have a selfie before they lowered the casket into the ground and buried it. Like, there at the
cemetery?
Yeah. And then I have the video of Amy singing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I have none of that. I was like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the funeral was so hard. And I was fine. It was emotionally exhausting. And I didn't cry that much. Mm-hmm. I cried, but not that much. But the hard part was, so Sydney was like, at Mom's funeral, you were like nowhere to be found. She's like, and I had to stand there and greet everybody and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have to do that this time. So I like made a concerted effort to be there and
really
greet everybody, right? I was like the first one there.
Yeah.
You know? And then I was like, I took some breaks because I was like, I need a break. I need to get out of here. But then it was just like, I'd be like, oh, hi, how are you? And then they'd be, how are you? And then they would hug me and start crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, if one more, by the end of the day, I was like, if one more person cries on my shoulder, I'm going to lose my entire mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm doing my best to keep my shit together. Mm. And it's like, and I get it. Like, I feel like it's insensitive to say that because I do want people to, but again, it's like, I don't want people feeling sad. And it's like, they hug me and then they're sad. Like, that's the worst thing that I can do to you is to make you feel sadder. You know, plus it was just like, it was just exhausting.
We could always make her a part 2.
So,
that
was, that feels, we can talk more. Mm-hmm. You want to make a part 2?
Yeah. Okay. Right now or another day? Okay.
No, I need to have like 10 drinks and
It's good. Okay. Well, we love you guys. Thank you for listening.
What are we supposed to say? There's something we're supposed to say together or no?
Vanessa and I just go, bye. But let us know what you think. I don't know exactly how I'll title this. This is all over the place.
It is all over the place.
But that's okay.
We can do more. We can do more direct things.
Yeah. You know, if you have questions.
What is it like to be a widow and raise children all by yourself?
Yeah. I said to be, well, this was the thing. When we decided we were going to do an episode, I was like, you have such a life. And then you're like, what? And I'm like, literally your stepmom, literally your parents passed, your husband passed, and now you're navigating this, and you're a business owner. I'm like, we got lots. You're a twin. We have so much. So
I know. It's so funny. I don't think of myself as like an interesting person. I think of myself as quite boring. Like Sydney, she can tell a story and she's hilarious. Yeah, she's hilarious. You should have her on Drunk once. She's a good time.
She is funny. But I said, I'm like, I was like, you just have so many interesting things, and then you're like, I could talk about therapy, and I was like, let's not talk about therapy.
I could talk about therapy and how you need to get therapy.
Yeah. So, okay, we love you guys. Let us know if you have any questions for Bailey. Bye.
Bye.